Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Enemy HD 15. My name is Cody Bryan, once again. Shout out to my cousin Sarah who edits these videos. Today is actually April 27th. What I wanted to talk about today is something I've recently dealt with. I've been applying for disability because I feel like I cannot work anymore. And it's not just a feeling, it's like a literal, I cannot work anymore. My fingers can't do what I used to be able to do. So many other things in that whole side of things. As I've been applying for disability, they've been doing physical and mental checks on me to make sure that I qualify for disability. So because of that, I've had to see some doctors, and I've had to do some mental tests, and I'll tell you right now, with my memory, those memory tests that they do, it's horrible. Anyway, but recently I went to the clinic in Wichita, the Huntingtons Clinic that I always talk about. We went over there for a day clinic on Saturday, and we were trying to get a better understanding of where I am in the disease, so that we could tell the people who have the disability paperwork how far I am, and hopefully gain their support through that. So I was meeting with their neurologist, and I was meeting with their caseworker, all that other stuff. The caseworker, she was working on more personal things, and she wound up asking me something like, why do I get sad all the time? And I said, well, because I have Huntington's disease, and because depression is the first stage, and it's just really accepting the fact that you have it. You have to move on from that. How can you move on from that, so life-altering. And then she began to ask me this question. She said, because you experienced it firsthand with your father, and you saw what it could do, is that why you're more depressed? Or why you think it's progressing faster? And that kind of threw me for a loop, because I was like, well, you have a point. I mean, I saw my dad go through it. From the beginning, I didn't really know what it was. I just knew he was different. But when it's subtle, it's really hard to tell. When you live with someone and you see him every single day, it's really hard to tell what it is and why he's acting that way, But for him, he just sat in front of the TV most of the time. Didn't want to work or do anything around the house. He would still want to do stuff with the family as a family. He didn't know he had it, so he didn't know what to look for either. And so because of that, he was able to still live his life for the most part until he got disability and just, wound up going to the nursing home and all the other stuff that had to happen. For me, though, it's different because I know what it looks like, and I know what the signs are. And so because of that, even before I got the blood test done, I was always second-guessing myself. Is this the disease? Is this not the disease? This looks like something my dad did, And it's different for every person, so you can't say the way it is for your brother or whatever, it's going to be for you. So, because of that, I know what to expect when the disease happens, and I know what to look for. I know to look for little movements. I know how the brain works, or I'm getting there anyway. And so, because of that, it's just becoming more and more of the realization that I do have it. And I think that's why I get depressed, because I start thinking about, things that are going to happen in the future that would happen if I did not have the disease. Honestly, I was always wanting to be a musician, a recording musician. I've always wanted to be a youth pastor. Do both, actually, at the same time. I think it'd be cool, fun. I love leading worship, those kinds of things. I don't know. And because of that, also I wanted a relationship. I wanted to get married. But because of all that, and because of the disease, it just makes me feel like none of that is going to happen. Some of it has happened in the past, but I just feel like there's not really much to look forward to in the future. And that's where my dad was different. My dad didn't know he had the disease, so he didn't know, and he was just thinking he was normal. He couldn't see what was happening. We could, and we were trying to tell him it was happening. So for him, thinking about the future was probably still, a big deal for him. I mean, he could still do it and not think about the disease, but because I know I have it and I know what it looks like, I get caught up in the fact that those things might not happen. Anyway, we're gonna cut it off there for today. Once again, this is the Enemy HD15. That's my Twitter and my YouTube channel. Also, shout out to Sarah, my cousin, who edits these videos. Her YouTube channel is SarahJoy88, and her Twitter is SJoy88. Also, don't forget to check out the link in Wichita, the www.huntingtonsclinic.com. And also, they're coming up with a walkathon pretty soon for raising funds for the disease and study and all that stuff. So just please support that as much as you can. I'd like to get the word out there. Also, just want to say one last thing. Because I'm doing this video, I am proof that through God all things are possible.